I could see you hunting the back. I saw that.
So what? I gave you the thumbs up?
Yeah. Just like that.
You're a
I
moron.
didn't say nothing bad about it. Hey, Justin, how are you? How is Justin Ward doing today? Ah, please hit the thumbs up so it notifies people. TJ, how are you? How are you? Doing good. That's good. That is good, Justin. Let me notify a few people that might take a minute for them to get notified. Doing great. That's good, TJ. That is good. So, what have you guys been up to? It's cold and rainy here today. You know what? Here's what goes on with that, Justin. Don't let the thumbs down bother you. It is a hey Sarah, how are you? It's one of them things that come along with doing YouTube. You'll always get somebody who disapproves of something that you're doing. So don't ever worry about it. And don't let it get you down. Yeah, all views are good views. Doesn't matter if they're thumbs down or not. If they leave a bad comment, just erase the comment. That's all. People get thumbs down all the time. It doesn't affect anything. Just letting a few people know that I'm live. That's all. That is all. I hope other people get notified soon. Walmart loyalists. I'm sure they are. That's funny. That's funny. You know, if you address that in the next video, saying like, I've got a thumbs down, and I think they're a Walmart loyalist. That's good. Always show a positive thing. You always do anyway. You're always very, very positive. I'm still letting a few people know here that I am alive. So, Sarah, how's Edward and Mikey doing? Oh, that's good. Did you enjoy your meal? One second, guys. There we go. So, what did you guys have? A good dinner?
Sorry, boys. I finally got my letter from Penguin Publishing. Yes, Bernard.
Yeah, TJ, and you can't let stuff like that. Dale, how are you doing? Youper, I was just getting ready to notify you I was live. So, how's the weather there, Youper? It's really cold here and raining today. So we're gonna have to see. It's supposed to be sunny tomorrow. It's weird weather here right now. It's really cold and rainy. Monday it's gonna be 90. So well, we took my son out and he got some new shoes for school that starts next week. Other than that, just miserable day because of the weather. Other than that, not bad. So it's not as hot as where you're at, yeah. Well, I hope you don't get this rain because that rain just really brings the temperature, makes it feel so much colder than it is. Hmm. Well, that's a good deal. It's not too hot and not too cold. I suppose way down south it's been really hot down there, huh? Anything going on anywhere? I'll show you a picture of the banana that we hatched out here after it shed. No, it just shed for the first time. I will show it to you. Oh, freshly shed. Not much there, huh? I think it's a banana Mojave.
So if it's not too much of an inconvenience, I need to see you in my office.
And it's a male,
5 minutes late.
if anyone's looking for one. I don't know.
No. This morning was not cool. All those texts, get out. She's coming. I thought that was in Holland. Black people always get murdered first.
I'm sorry. Liz never goes to our apartment in the city, but there's a crow trapped in our chimney in Scarsdale.
Yeah. Is it coming along pretty good there, TJ, or still a lot of research got to be done? Yeah, feeding the roaches to feed to the tarantulas. It's pretty funny how the life cycle works. So, if there's anybody in the background up there, I see there's a bunch of people watching. You guys can come in and say something. Yeah, that was one of my shorts. It was just a little update on the isopods. I love how they eat the skin like that, but yet they leave the belly scales alone. And I mean, they eat it all so that the belly scales ain't even connected. They're just like individual little scales that eat everything around it. Why they do that, I don't know. It's very interesting. I don't understand why they would eat the entire shed except for those belly scales. Although in a snake, when you're looking at the shed skin, it has the belly scales are, you can see through them. They're clear. They're a little shinier and smoother than the rest of the scales were, and I don't know if that has something to do with it. Maybe they're harder for them to chew because they're so shiny. They look like little pieces of plastic in there. So, Edward Tyndall in the house. How are you, Edward? Thank you. Thank you, Edward. So how's that breeding project going, Edward? That's what I was going to ask you. Is he getting anywhere with that? He does do a nice tapping. It's pretty interesting to hear them tap on the glass like that. I don't know if you guys saw the video. If anybody didn't, I'll show you a picture of the well, I hope so too. I hope so too. I mean, I hope you get there real soon. Let me see if I can find this picture of the. Did I take a picture of it or no? Oh yeah, here we go. I mean, if you look, they leave the belly scales just laying there on the bottom. Every one of them, every one of these things are a belly scale, and they're just laying in there, and they don't touch it, but they eat every single thing else. I don't get it. A picture of what? Let me see. Yeah. So, I think they're cool. Just the whole process of selling them and acquiring them could be a little complicated because they put it under some kind of regulation because they eat vegetation and stuff sometimes, and you got to fill out all these forms to even get rid of them to sell them or anything. Yeah, that's because isopods will eat it, but they don't eat the bottom scales, and I don't know why they don't eat the bottom scales. They eat every bit of it else, but not the bottom scales. If you go back and watch my video today and my video I put up 2 days ago, I put the snake skin in with isopods 2 days ago. And when I get to today, which is only 2 days later, they've devoured the entire thing except for those, the belly scales. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't understand it. Now that was a king snakes and a hognose snakes, them two sheds that I put in there. I put one in there and I put one in there before, did the same thing. Now I'm going to try a little piece of ball python shed, and we'll see if they skip the belly scales on those too. But what's funny about the belly scales is, the belly scales have the scales that like this, and then there's the other scale, but them scales are connected. They eat everything around the bottom plate and just left a little shiny bottom plate in there. It's kind of strange to me. Yeah, I guess it's just interesting to learn about them, how they do that and why they do it that way. Makes you wonder if you put them in your snake skin, if you put them in your snake cages, and they're the cleanup crew. Do any of you guys that do them, Edward? You have them in your snake cages, don't you? The isopods, or no? Do they leave the belly scales in the bottom? Yeah, I agree with that, Uper, because the belly scales was always going on the bottom, on the ground, and it has to be tougher than the other, the rest of it, so it doesn't get scratched up or damaged or anyway, so the animal stays safe. Tanisha, how are you? What kind of isopods do you have? And when they eat the skins, do you let them eat the snake skins? They might be. They might, but I don't know. You got that the cork bark. I mean, the cocoa fiber in there. You got to put more than that in there. You have to have like different type of substrate in there. You got to have like dirt. They eat all the rainbow boas, even the bottom scales, huh? I don't put them in with my snakes. I won't put them in with my tarantulas because when a tarantula is molting, I'm part of some isopod boards. They have had some incidences. Some people put the tarantulas in there, and while they were molting, the isopods attacked the tarantula and ate a leg or two off it, and things like that. What are you cooking, Tanisha? And it's good to hear that you're okay. Well, that's not good to do that either. You should never go without eating all day. And there's so many different types of isopods. Some of them isopods are pretty expensive. Do you plan to put any in your reptarium, TJ? I have seen the giant ones that can kill sharks. You mean those ones? Yeah, Justin, that's not good. Sounds good, Tanisha.
No, you're not. We're already enough of a cliche that taking your gun to the
I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, isopods get they're becoming very big. But you mean like big in size? Yeah, they got video of them attacking sharks and killing sharks. It's really weird. They got isopods in the ocean, at the bottom of the ocean that are ginormous. Yeah, they got some big land ones. The ones I'm talking about though, that they're from the sea. But yeah, they get some giant big ones. Well, giant isopods, people eat them. They eat them overseas. I don't know if I would eat them, but they do eat them. They are crustaceans, so I would assume that they could. You could eat them. They had isopods that were going for $75 or more a piece, or something somewhere, or $35 or something a piece. I seen them somewhere. I can't remember how much they were.
I'll have to try that, see how well it really works.
What?
You brew banana and cinnamon for 10 minutes and drink it, and it's supposed to help you fall asleep.
It might. Yes.
No, we're not getting into the cinnamon talk, people.
Horseshoe crabs are definitely a crustacean. Did you ever see a horseshoe crab's blood? It's blue, neon blue. It glows. That's fine, Uper. We will talk to you later. They weren't going to ask, Becky.
What?
I don't know.
Who said they weren't going to ask?
Tanisha.
Oh, I don't think she was here for that cinnamon talk.
Oh, maybe not. She may not have been in for the cinnamon talk. So, do you plan to ever breed any isopods there, Edward, or you just put them in your enclosure? I like a little bit of honey. I don't like cinnamon or nothing My tea. Oh, it's a long story, Tanisha. You would have to go back and watch my live from 2 days ago. That's true. They are related to scorpions. But their blood is blue, 100% blue. I mean, bright blue. They have labs that drain the blood out of them, and they use the blood for something. I can't remember what they use the blood for. But L. Harper Reptiles, how you doing? They use it for something. Do you remember what they use the horseshoe crab blood for, hun, when they take it?
No.
They use it for something. And they have them all lined up, the crabs, and they drain the blood out to fill up these little jars for it.
I would put the dog out.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
How are you, L. Harper Reptiles? Can I ask what your name is so that way we can call you by your first name there? Lamont. Okay. She was asking about the cinnamon talk. I said you have to go back and watch the video. So how are you doing today, Lamont?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not my triple XL Orlando t-shirt. Listen, I work in politics, and that bag is highly classified. I'm sorry, can I help you?
No, nothing. Highly classified. Didn't realize Jack Ryan, big commercial.
What exactly is that, if you don't mind me asking, Justin?
I'm gonna be back in New York in 48 hours. I can't buy all new clothes. I don't understand British sizes.
Well, thank you for stopping by. Thanks a lot for stopping by.
Dad, I can't hang out at the airport all day. I've got to go to work.
सुनो, अगर इस गुस्सेल खातून को तुम ले जाओगे तो मैं दोपहर के खाने में किनवा खाऊंगा और रात के भी.
Please.
Sounds interesting.
Feel like I've distracted you.
I may have to try that one time. I may have to try that. So, Edward, like I was asking, do you ever plan to get into breeding isopods or anything like that? Do you ever look at some of these people that do it? They got rooms that are just like your tarantula room. Just you should film. I like watching you guys do that. When you did it last year, and you filmed it. I thought that was a good video.
Ted Spencer, every day from New York.
That's a terrible slogan.
Do you breed them? Oh, you have your own little setup breeding them? I didn't know that. What kind do you have?
Multiple demographics, including male Indian voters, and everybody loved it.
I'm not Indian, Pakistani.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
I have a whole.
You know,
I
this
s-
people ask me, where are you from?
You okay?
What they really is.
Oh, I started off with
So what do you
like
do?
25. I had 2 containers of 25,
Cool. Are you
and now I got hundreds. Oh, you got the powder orange, powder blue. I got the powder blue, and I got the curly.
have you ever been in love with the
It's blue, but it's not powder blue.
What? No, I'm not looking at you talking about. We're talking.
Ah,
Have you even seen it?
it's not blue. It's blue, but it's not powder blue.
Are they all wild caught isopods? Is that what they are? And you have Dalmatians too, huh?
So, what do you think?
I like the dairy cows are pretty cool. The rubber duckies are pretty cool.
Pierce Brosnan, Meryl Streep. How does one film waste so much
You have purple ones too.
This is not
Very cool.
Oh, really? So not Sophie's Choice or whatever that's the name.
Sing one song from either of those movies.
Why don't you ever videotape those?
You got it.
Them are cool.
Maybe I only like it because my mom and I saw it on Broadway a couple of months before she died. How do you think it's good?
I lost my mom too.
How old were you? I was 12.
20. More recent, Saturday.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about them in your videos, and I've heard you talk about you putting them in the enclosures, but I think they'd be cool to see. Yeah, the giant isopods, right, Lamont? Is that what you're talking about? And they are cool. I didn't miss your comment up there. I'm sorry. Yeah, they are pretty wicked looking. They're pretty wicked. Ours are tiny though. Justin, that's funny. Yeah, I seen. They have a video, an LSMR video of a woman eating one, a giant one, cooked.
I'm an investment banker.
Why would you lie about that?
Well, I hate my job. I've always wanted to act. Still do, but
Yeah, I had no idea that you guys. I knew you guys had them in your tanks there,
like you said,
but I didn't know that you guys had tubs of them, like breeding them and stuff.
Oh my god, this is my suitcase. I was sitting on
Does
it.
anybody else in here have any bioactive enclosures besides the Tyndalls? I don't have any. I was just wondering if anybody else had any.
Well, I'm off. Maybe one day I'll be watching a play in the West End and we'll walk out on stage and I'll be like, hey, it's Suitcase Guy.
I hope you're right. Next time, put a pink ribbon on it so you know it's yours.
Do you plan to do any, TJ?
Well, bye.
I think I got some pictures of mine in here in my phone. I do. Yeah, it's pretty cool sometimes to do that. Here's one of my powder blues.
Hi. Oh, it must be Maya. Been dying to meet you. My name's Gemma. I mean, his best friend.
Let me see here.
Ainsley just nipped out to get some last minute bits for her birthday party. Make yourself at home. Oh, here. Take these. It's for Ainsley. Twinkies are her favorite, and they don't have them here. So. Oh,
Here's another one of the powder blues.
Please, in college, you can count like 10 of these without even chewing. Oh, were you at college with Ainsley too? I always thought of Ainsley, Jackie, and Craig as more of a trio. No, there were always 4 of us. Forgive me, I just assumed.
Oh, very cool. Except one thing with a bioactive with bearded dragons. I would think that the isopods, the bearded dragons, would eat the isopods. That's just my opinion. I would think that they would.
I love my child too much to work.
Well, I know you guys have them, Sarah. But I think bearded dragons, I think that they would definitely eat the
I live across the street.
isopods as they try running.
But our friendship-
Bearded dragon would grab them up.
He's this one's very funny.
That's why most people do the bioactive with their with frogs, and snakes and stuff, and tarantulas. Some people do it with tarantulas. I would think geckos would do the same thing. Any kind of lizard would definitely that eats crickets and stuff like that, or any kind of thing like that. I think you put in there. I think when a isopods were running, I think they would get eaten up. Justin, how are you? Was it like a good? Why did you?
What do you think of my cars?
What was your dog doing, Sarah? Was he like tearing into it like a vicious animal or something that you wouldn't let him film it?
I didn't spend all high school watching
movies. I played sports and hooked up with girls.
Feels pointed. Look, Craig, I called you for a pep talk, man. I'm gonna tell Maya.
All right, yeah, but you don't think the Cresteds would eat would eat the isopods as they run across? I think they would. I think you'd be constantly putting them in there.
Okay, dude. You got this. You got this. You've liked her for 10 years. She'd be lucky to be with you. You're not some nerd in the dorm anymore.
Well, actually, I still do live in a dorm, but thank you.
That's true.
Craig?
That's funny, Justin.
All right, appreciate it, brother.
Craig? Why are you not dressed yet? The party's about to start.
You look great.
Bob, how are you?
You're a witch.
Oh, you're not late.
Ella Enchanted, Craig? Ella Enchanted. How do you not know that?
Just woke up from a nap, did you?
I was just kidding, Zara. I knew what you were.
Oh, I seen a picture. Yeah, I seen a picture. I think it was as big as the dog was. Oh man, I saw the picture. Yes, I did.
Craig! Put your costume on. Or don't, and we'll just say you're Will Smith in Hitch.
No, I don't think they would eat the springtails. I think the springtails are definitely, like you said, too small. But I would think that the isopods would get definitely munched up pretty quick.
That's Maya.
Pretty horrible.
Sorry, guys.
Duffy! Hi! I'm so happy to see you. Oh,
Me too. You look so great.
who gets my costume?
Monica, love basketball. We watched it spring freshman year. Remember?
So, Dale, do you plan? Dale, do you plan to do any kind of bioactive
Hey, do you want to go somewhere and talk?
setups with any of your animals?
Can we get us some drinks and I'll meet the party?
Yes. Yes. Perfect.
Fine, you have to inform people of the word of the day. I want everyone to use it.
I'll have 2 of those. Oh,
Do
sorry.
you remember the word of the day? Chooch?
Oh, Chooch. She was watching TV today, and Chooch was the word, and she's using the word of the day now.
Hey, Sky. Hi. I can't believe you're here.
I was about to say the same thing.
When I left the airport, I was thinking, wow, this guy helped me find my stupid suitcase, and I didn't even thank him, and now I'm
Yeah,
here you
I
are.
saw you did that,
So thank you.
TJ.
My name's Maya.
Maya.
Because you're being a chooch right now.
I'm being a because of what I just did.
Cash,
Yeah.
this is my best friend Maya.
No,
That sounded good.
no. Yeah, like I said, they would definitely eat the isopods.
Your boyfriend Cash, yes? Why are you so surprised? No, I'm not. It's just when you hear Cash, you think of like a bad LA rapper, not like a nice ethnic Cash with a K. Oh,
Yeah, no, that his name is Dale.
I don't remember mentioning. And honestly, that's
Yeah, I thought about it. I've seen people do it with hognose snakes. I've seen people do it with all their snakes, but I just think like when you get into ball pythons and the bioactive tank, I think would be kind of tough due to the fact that I don't think that the isopods and everything could devour the total mess that a ball python could definitely do, you know?
So is Zara here? I'd love to meet her.
Yes. You go over and talk
Number
to her.
3 has arrived. Simple Web Logic. How are you? Can I get your name so I know what to call you?
Just don't want to get attached to another girl you end up dumping after a couple months.
Not this one. We're moving in together.
What?
Congrats. That's awesome. Maybe in a decade or 2, I'll be ready to get married. Right,
Oh.
let's go for a celebration. Let's go.
I'm going to assume his name is Justin. I didn't even think of it that way. I wasn't going back and I wasn't thinking, yeah. But I bet you it is Justin. For the balls, how are you doing? Cold. It's very cold here.
keep having these dreams.
Oh. Okay, that makes sense. J Dog, how are you?
Sorry about this.
Congratulations on a 581.
So what's up?
Facing my husband, Quentin. Sometimes when he's been oversearched, he falls asleep in shrubs. It reminds me of his childhood in Kenya.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen her.
Hey, how are you?
Is Maya in there?
Yes. She's very very
Your name
friends.
escapes me.
Well, if you see her, can not tell her I'm out here, but maybe why? That I'm
Are you that man who can say anything?
Yes. Yes, you're the first person to get that.
Are you trying to seduce someone like this?
Yeah, yes, you have.
Chill, man.
Good. Because that would be pitiful.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
Hard at work still. Thank you, Steve. And don't overwork, buddy. You work a lot. You work more than anybody I know. I'm not kidding you. Besides Becky over here, she never takes a day off. She works almost every day. Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Dale. Justins are everywhere.
Oh, hey.
Again. Wait, the leg.
Even when I know, I seen you do that one video. You were sick.
I didn't actually say you were Caramel Ryan
Oh,
Gosling.
you never.
I mean, I said.
Well, I hope you enjoy it,
Because I was
Tanisha.
for storytelling purposes.
Oops. Compared to Ryan Gosling, I'm grotesque.
I actually said Brian Gosling. Yeah, you wouldn't know him. He's an American celebrity, known for his average looks.
What? That stuff about paying my job. Can you look to me? Do you mind not telling me?
Never. Already forgotten.
Getting surrounded by Justins.
My fault, but it's obviously. Wow.
I'll come back.
I don't know where he's at. Why is there a war inside the Tyndall house, if you don't mind me asking?
I said I called you.
Did you tell her?
Maya, I was going to. I swear.
But you changed your mind.
No. No, did you see the new Quinnipiac poll? We're up. By 3 points.
Holy shit. I bet it was that Politico video you did of fair housing.
Yeah. The one that you made me do.
You still are going.
This is all you.
Get you. Funny.
It could actually win.
Don't love that my communications director can't believe I could actually win, but yeah. We're so close. That's why,
Can't tell her now.
You know them combat tactical shovels can be dangerous, very dangerous.
I love you.
You know what you should do, Sarah? You should run out there
Look, I gotta go.
and accidentally hit the power button on Edward's Xbox and say, I'm sorry. Yep, I've seen them. The charade of shovels. Yet you have a nice time at work there, Steve, and be safe, buddy. Thank you.
Never going to a costume party again. One night I thought I was Scotty.
Or accidentally trip over the cord and unplug it. Sarah.
I mean, was hashtag Ainsley's totally awesome 30th rom-com birthday bash so hard to add to your photos?
Yeah, it was so fun. Except for the 3 hours.
Yeah. They use them as some of the
Oh, I know.
some of the military branches have those ones too. The serrated edges.
Oh, no. Yeah.
started saying like, yeah, the real parties.
Oh, why wouldn't he get off?
Wait, who said that?
Yeah, I don't know, just people. So the point is, I was having a great time and wasn't just out there on my own or waiting for Maya. So, Craig, can you help me out here? Craig?
Get off of your phone.
Well, I'm glad,
Really?
Justin. I am glad.
Are you 60?
Okay, sorry. No more calls.
Just remember, guys, that this will be the last live until next Friday, minimum. School starts this week.
For a little while.
Becky's got to start getting up real super early in the morning, so
Ted has a thing.
death shovels, yeah.
Hilarious. I forgot how funny bankers are.
Thank you for stopping in, TJ. You have a great night too, buddy.
He sends me memes.
What? No, he's not. I'm the funny one in the office. Everyone's always like, do Denzel. And I'm like, I see you. I'm bad.
God.
Genuinely upsets me.
It's not bad. It's terrible.
It's great.
I know, like that.
Speaking of cash, what's the deal? Is it serious? Who knows? I mean, the last thing I want to do is rush in.
Still, I have a question for you because you said you're a you help recovering addicts and stuff. And I've been watching this intervention that's taking place in Philadelphia, and I do have a question for you, if that's okay.
Sadly, yes. As of this morning, Senator Spencer and his wife have officially separated. They ask that you respect their privacy during.
Oh, thank you, Dale. Which Justin? Oh, he's talking about Justin Ward there because of what Justin Ward set up there.
No, I just never thought it would happen. You actually did it. And now I get to take.
We got our own little niche group right here, and that's what I like, our little
Beautiful city in the world.
group that we have.
So if they want to ask your favorite city, if you do,
I was so stupid to be happy.
I just hope your friends like me.
They won't.
You hear my dog barking, guys? Okay. Now, they try to intervene with these individuals. They try to help, and they try to get them help. Some of them do go away and get help. All right. Now, when they get back out, they end up going back to the same neighborhoods they frequented and stuff like that, in their own, back to where they were from and all. And to me, that ends up being trouble because they end up running into their old friends and things like that. Now, do you think if they were to help somebody, like let's say in Philadelphia there, do you think when they send them away to get help, do you think it would be better if they moved them to a whole new section of the country where they don't know anybody and help them get a job and help them establish all over again and so that they try to get on the right track and maybe meet the right people instead of running into your old people? I gotta let this dog in, guys. I will be right back in 1 second. Come on, Leo, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Crazy dog. It's dark out. People trying to sleep and stuff. You're out there barking like a maniac.
Once I had a love, and it was a girl. Soon turned out I had a heart of glass. Seemed like
I'm back, guys. I'm sorry about that. Just heard Justin is quite the animal. Ooh, the other Justin? I don't keep anybody in the cellar. Unless, of course, you talk to the neighbor that you can't talk to her because she passed away. But there's a story. Okay, my sister, she had to travel to Montana. And she didn't want to go by herself, so my mother went with her. The lady next door hadn't seen my mother for 3 days. The lady next door was bipolar, and she was had a bad situation. She wasn't taking her meds. She came over here screaming and yelling at us, swearing we had my mother tied up in the basement. It was crazy. I had to have my mother from where she was at in Montana call the neighbor and tell her she was fine. She was not tied up in or not, well, she was not tied up in the basement. It was a complete thing. The lady has since passed, and that's the house that we had bought for that was next door. That's another thing. I agree with you, Dale. Another thing I was going to say is they don't. The interventions usually never work. People have to want to get help themselves. Okay, and I also believe that they need to have some kind of support group after they get out. But what I was saying is, I think it would be better if they didn't even come back to where they were from, went somewhere else, so they don't stand a chance of running into people that they grew up with or people that they hung around with that did the same things that they did. Because I think that would be it would be trouble. That's just my opinion.
Hi guys, Zara here. After last week's flat iron mishap, I've decided to stop doing hair tutorials and focus instead on another passion.
Yeah, if it's forced, it never works. Yeah, I agree with you. Okay there, boy.
I was live, Craig. I'm doing a delicious cookery video for my YouTube channel.
Cooking? You just boiled eggs.
I don't know how to do anything else.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
The wedding's in a few hours.
Me and Mara just going for a quick run. She's really in the dumpster.
Oh, girl. It's really tough being a mistress.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
if you ended up accidentally, if you were out somewhere, okay, and you ran into a whole group of the people you used to hang with that were like that, would it be tempting? I'm just asking.
Tighter. Come on, Nigel.
Hello. When did you get here?
I agree with that, Justin.
Splendid. Thanks, class. You know, that school has taught 7 generations of thought bloods how to be men. Well, that's not even...
Well, I suppose that too, Bob. I agree.
I said tighter.
Well, you can breathe.
I'll breathe when I'm dead.
Oh, see, and then that usually works for them, does it? Dale, does that usually work for them? Dylan, how are you?
Now, just lost everything.
Shut up, shut up.
Shut up. You're the one that told me we needed to go on these runs with the top.
Yeah, about me.
Well, that's good, Justin. That's good. But can you see how that millisecond could make some people just go right back?
See those girls over there playing soccer?
Yeah.
See the one in the red shorts?
Oh, you did quit smoking. That is awesome.
That's my daughter.
Nothing much, Dylan. Nothing much.
Holy shit. You haven't done us since when?
About a year ago, I got a Facebook message from this woman, Julia, who claimed we hooked up when I first moved to London.
Wow. That is
Oh, you want me to show you my Mojave
She just had questions.
banana has shut out for the first time since coming out of the egg, and I got a good picture of her, and I'll show it to you real quick.
So I
Hold
hired
on a
someone,
minute.
and
Let
I
me
had to go
see
down.
here.
Now, some Saturdays, most Saturdays, I come here.
And you're sure it's that girl, the one in the red shorts?
And there he is. Boom.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely her. Oh my god, Greg. What did it say? What did Zara say?
I wanted to
Right.
tell you first to get your opinion. You're a fixer. Fix this.
Well, someone just got out of a relationship built on lies. You need to be honest. What the scroll
Well, that's good,
on?
Dale. That's good.
Either way, nothing good ever came out of a guy hiding bushes with a guitar.
My name is Harvey.
Oh my god, Papa, this wedding is going to be so ritzy. Don't take your eyes off my Insta stories tonight. God, folks. Oh my god, Poppy, I think I just found my birthday present. I'll call you back when I find out how expensive it is. Bye.
Yeah, I think that it also takes the main person to do things.
Ah, Dad. That's good.
Well, that's good of you, Justin. That's really good.
Fun in the house.
I'm Harun Khan. One martini, shaken, not stirred. No alcohol, please.
And you guys please be quieter. I'm trying to practice my speech in the next room, and the walls are thin.
Are you okay with that? Would you like to try it on us?
I'm fine. I just need you guys to stop being so lame so I can practice.
Kind of a little shit.
Oh, that's funny.
Just nervous.
I'm nervous too.
I seen a picture today.
Married 80. Why would you ask?
Had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, and Jenner. And it said, the headline said, a transformer and a Terminator in the same picture.
That mom is weird. Keeps trying to relate Quran to pop culture.
And now you're marrying a woman you love.
Yeah, I agree with you, Justin. Definitely.
Oh, it's right.
I think that almost everybody who helps these people should have been in their shoes at some point in time so they can relate to the things.
Love is patient.
There you are. Oh, wow.
So-
Gemma, you look great. It's almost like we aren't wearing the same dress.
Well, different bodies. How are you holding up, dear? I guess you told me everything, such as our bond.
I'm not focusing on me right now. Sort of my job is
Leo.
an honor to keep today about Ainsley.
Leo,
Well,
stop eating the cat's food. I agree with that one too, Dale.
Hey,
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I just wandered in here to practice my Bible reading.
wait. It's fine.
Oh.
How are you?
Me? How I am is not important. How are you?
Pretty nervous, actually.
Why? You're marrying like the best person I know. And weddings are easy. You're an actor. You're already in costume. Just go out there.
What are you
and say
looking
your
at, Leo?
lines. Simple.
Wasn't so simple for Sophie and Sky's
What are you looking at? You're making a lot of noise. The people can hear you. Say something.
No sense. Gotta say, I enjoyed it. Although, did you think it was weird how Mum performed at her house?
Yes, so weird.
Right?
But I guess they had to get their money's worth because she's dead in the second one.
What? Meryl's dead? Oh my god, why would you ruin that for
I'm
me?
so sorry. Okay, on that note, I should get out of here.
Right, yeah, the senator's probably running where you are.
Oh, Ainsley didn't tell you.
Tell me.
He couldn't make it this week.
Yeah, everything is good. That's funny. That is funny. I have to agree.
I'm so sorry.
But the problem is he's always eating the cat food and we're always spilling it. Huh, Leo?
Just a
Oh boy.
There we go.
Come up here. Come on.
I'll let you get back
So
to
people
it.
can see. Come on up. 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 Come on. You make a lot of noise. So, well, guys, we're going on an hour. Just remember, we'll be back next Friday because school starts this week, so we can't do any during the week because she has to get to sleep. The kids have to get to sleep for school, so this will definitely be a weekend thing. So, all right, guys, I would like to thank every single person that came in here: Justin, Dale, Bob.
Instead of doing a reading from the Bible,
I forgot your name again, Loria, right?
words of a blind prophet.
I can't remember your name.
Poet.
Tanisha, Justin.
For once in my life, I have someone who needs me, someone I've needed so long. For once, unafraid, I can go where life leads me.
Bye, Bob.
I'll be strong. No one's I can touch,
Well,
what my heart used to dream of.
I hope you have a safe trip halfway across the world, and I hope you have a good day at work. Yes.
I know I'm only a bridesmaid, but I want to express my love.
All right. So, I guess it could be. Good night, Dale, Justin. Everybody else is in the background that I don't see in there. I want to thank every single person for coming in, and peace out, people. Tyndall, Sarah, Edward. Good night, Viking Jesus. Yeah, good night, Justin.